So, good day to you. Out of his bitterness as a black poet during the past generation, Langston Hughes posed one of the most important in life questions. He said, what happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat, or crust as sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load, or does it explode? So, what happens to a dream deferred? We're living in a time where, in this pandemic, so many dreams of so many people have had to be put on hold and deferred and wondering if they will ever come together again. Graduates are literally this week walking down the aisle with dreams of their future, having experienced the 4 years or more of education. I have several weddings on my calendar. They'll walk down the aisle, have such dreams for their marriage. And on we can go. One of our finest this Friday will be her last day after years of working for a company. She's about to retire. The dream she has of retirement. What is your dream? And has it maybe been deferred in some way at some point in your life? There's a point in Jesus' life, many points actually, where the dream he had was run up against those who were enemies of his dream. And we see in the 16th chapter of John what he says. In the caption in my Bible even says the disciples' grief will turn to joy. And he has this one little phrase that he comes to again and again. See if you pick it up. He says, in a little while you will see me no more. But then after a little while you will see me. Some of his disciples said to one another, what does he mean by saying, in a little while you will see me no more? And then after a little while you will see me, and because I'm going to the Father. They kept asking, what does he mean by a little while? We don't understand what he is saying. The little while, the dream deferred. Jesus had to face that. He had enemies at every turn that wanted to defeat the dream that was his. But he refused to renounce the dream. And if the dream is one that God has placed in your life, I encourage you to hold on to the dream as well. What would the end of it mean? What he was basically saying, in a little while, the dream deferred will not be the dream defeated. It will one day come to pass. And so I invite you to consider what your dreams are as well. A dream deferred does not have to mean a dream destroyed. If you must wait, maybe there will be just for a little while. That ultimate defeat, it seemed, was that Friday on the cross when all seemed lost. But then in just a little while, just 3 days, the dream that seemed to be deferred and even seemed to be defeated became the dream that was delivered. And so in a little while, can we have that kind of faith? That whatever your dream may be that seems to be delayed and deferred and defeated even in a little while, that's the story of the gospel. You've heard me say a story when I was a chaplain at Medical College of Virginia, and just a college student had no clue how to respond to a crisis. But a little child came in who had been hit by a car. The family started pouring in. I was on call that night with the life of the little child hanging on just by a thread. With me as supposed to be the one with the words, this mother of this little child said to me words I'll never forget. She said, Pastor, I'm not going to draw any conclusions about this until I see what God does with it. That's what in a little while really can mean for you and me. And so we remember and sing with Paul, hope does not disappoint us because God's love has been put in us. And so in a little while, folks, the dream deferred will become the dream delivered. That's the good news of the gospel. That's the story we can live in. If all your dreams feel like they're nothing but defeats, one day they will be delivered. Thanks be to God.